Now, characteristics of primary wall. Primary wall is elastic, extendable. Primary wall is adapted to growth. It is elastic and capable of great extension. Crystalline, having a specific or definite geometric shape, and optically active. Elastic, extendable, crystalline, and optically active. Now, what is meant by optically active? Optical activity is the topic of stereochemistry. Here I will briefly explain optical activity, that what is meant by optically active. This is a plane polarized light, PPL, plane polarized light. What is PPL? PPL stands for plane polarized light. Plane polarized light means the light which vibrate only in one direction, light which vibrate only in one plane, in one direction. If a plane polarized light is passed through a sample of molecules such as glucose, cellulose, etc., if the sample rotates plane polarized light to right side, that is clockwise, or left side, that is anti-clockwise, such a sample of molecule is called optically active. If a molecule rotates the plane polarized light either in clockwise direction, that is right side, or in anti-clockwise, that is on left side, such a molecule is called optically active, and the phenomena is known as optical activity. But if a molecule didn't rotate the plane polarized light in either direction, nor in clockwise direction nor in anti-clockwise direction, so it means the sample is optically inactive. So primary cell wall is optically active. It means that it is mainly composed of cellulose. Cellulose unit is glucose, and glucose is optically active. That is, it means that it rotates the plane polarized light. Now, secondary wall, it is formed on the inner side of the primary wall in an old and mature cells. For example, in xylem cells, sclerenchyma cells, vessels, fibers, and when secondary wall develops, the plant cell die due to deposition of lignin. Lignified cells are dead because lignin fills the pores between the cell wall, and then the cell wall become impermeable to water and solutes. So secondary wall or lignified cells are dead. Secondary wall is 5 to 10 micrometer in. Characteristics of secondary wall is more or less rigid, crystalline, and optically more active. It is rigid and it is non-elastic and non-extendable like primary wall. Chemically, secondary wall is composed of cellulose, hemicellulose, made up of 5 carbonate known as xylene, pectin, a polysaccharide, lignin. What is lignin? Lignin is hard, tough, and chemically complex substance. Which is impermeable to water. And the process of lignin deposition in the cell wall is known as lignification. So chemical composition, secondary cell wall is chemically composed of cellulose, made up of its unit is 6 carbon, sugar glucose, hemicellulose, 5 carbon, unit xylene, pectin polysaccharide, lignin, mineral salts of calcium, magnesium, potassium, and some silica. As you studied that secondary wall is optically more active than primary wall. What is meant by optically active? In stereochemistry, optically active compound means that molecule or compound which can rotate PPL, plane polarized light, can rotate plane polarized. Again, this is the structure of cell wall. This outer layer is primary wall and this blue layer is secondary wall. Look into the diagram. The secondary wall is formed on the inner side of the primary wall. Secondary wall is formed on the inner side of the primary wall. Outer layer is primary wall and on the inner side is secondary wall, and this layer present between the two primary walls of adjacent cells is called middle lamella. Now plasmodesmata. What are plasmodesmata? There are pores in the cell walls of adjacent cells. This is one cell, this is another cell. There are pores in the cell walls of adjacent cells through which their cytoplasm is connected. These pores or cytoplasmic connections are called plasmodesmata. Functions of cell wall. Number 1. Cell wall provide a definite or specific shape to the plant cell for proper function. Cell wall gives strength and rigidity to the cell. Cell wall prevents the cell from osmotic lysis. That is, it protects the plant cell from bursting. The plant cell can swell but not ruptured like an animal cell, because the cell wall prevents overexpansion of the plant cell. So cell wall prevents the cell from osmotic lysis, means when water enters the plant cell during endosmosis, so the cell wall prevents the overexpansion of the plant cell and thus prevent it from osmotic lysis. Cell wall is permeable. Why cell wall is permeable? Because the cell wall is porous and therefore allows water and dissolved mineral substances to pass through it. In other words, cell wall does not act as a barrier to the materials passing through it. Thank you.